Hope you guys are doing well. My name is EQ and welcome to another episode of Stonkaholics. On this episode we're going to be going over one of my favorites and one of my biggest holds in my bag right now. Elrond. Been holding this one since around $40. We're currently getting close to $200 and I'm going to make a nice short-term and long-term projection going upwards of $1,000. So let's jump into it. So Elrond currently ranked 48th on the top list of cryptos, sitting at $192.80, almost $193 per token. Got this out of steel back in the day at around $30, $40. I think on a price average is around $36 per coin. So this has been a great investment for me. Currently sitting at a $3.3 billion market cap. We have a total supply of 21.6 million and a max supply of 31.4 million and a circulating supply of 17.4 million, almost 55% of the max supply. So the difference between these two would be the total supply is what is circulating, what we can buy. The max supply is the total amount that is going to exist in the history of Elrond. So it is a finite token. It's going to be very valuable. I'm hoping this one makes a nice big boom and goes up to 1,000 by the end of the bull cycle, and I'll be very happy with those gains. Essentially, Elrond is a blockchain protocol that seeks to offer really fast transaction speeds by using sharding. The project describes itself as a technology ecosystem for the new internet, which includes fintech, decentralized finance, and the Internet of Things. Its smart contracts execution platform is reportedly capable of 15,000 transactions per second, a 6-second latency, and a 0.001 cent transaction cost. The blockchain has a native token known as EGLD that is used for paying network fees, staking, and rewarding validators. Elrond was first announced in August 2019 and its mainnet went live in July 2020. Its main selling point is its high scalability, stating that it is the first blockchain network in which state, network, and transaction sharding have all been implemented. According to its economic paper, it seeks to build up its ecosystem and establish EGLD as a store of value asset, sort of like a Bitcoin would be. To achieve this goal, the network runs on 2,100 validator nodes split into 4 shards, 3 execution shards capable of 5,400 transactions per second, and 1 coordination shard, the metachain. It was tested to run 263,000 TPS in a public environment with 1,500 nodes from 29 countries grouped in 50 shards. In order to increase adoption, the project also supports developers building on the platform, allowing them to earn 30% of the smart contract fees as royalties. So Elrond uses a secure proof-of-stake consensus algorithm in which nodes must stake their EGLD tokens to participate in the validation process, and each validator is assigned to a rating score based on past activity, which also influences whether or not they are selected. If a validator's rating becomes too slow, it will not be selected and must pay fines. Validators can also be removed from the network and have their stake slashed if they continuously act in a manner that is against the integrity of the network. Validators are randomly selected in a way that can neither be predicted nor modified based on the previous round of validations. In addition, validators are periodically shuffled between shards as a way to prevent collusion. So jumping on their website, you can see Internet Scale Blockchain is live, a highly scalable, fast, and secure blockchain platform. Goes in a little bit about each one of those if you wanted to dive into that a little more. So giving anyone anywhere easy access to digital economy by bringing 1,000 times improvement in blockchain speed, scale, cost, and user experience. I see multiple VM machines for anyone that is a developer. That's huge, secure, and efficient, and massively scalable for anyone that is just a normal buyer. The ways that you can stake your Elrond and get that. I'm staking my Elrond. I'm currently getting around 26% a year, which is amazing. So you can see Elrond supports the most popular programming languages, flexible tools, and comes with clear and canonical documentation. You can quickly start and deploy your application on a blockchain designed with real use in mind. So they have a ton of partners they're working with. You can see Chainlink on this list, which is probably my big one, at crypto.com. And you have Flipside, which is huge. So this is really the use case for the real world, the blockchain to elevate your business, and easy to integrate blockchain with unprecedented scalability, high speed, and low transaction costs. And you can see you can get in as an investor, an ambassador, a maker, or one of the developers, and you can see they're very transparent on their team, which is a great sign. You don't want to really invest in projects that don't talk about their team, because they can be rug pulls and just vanish on you. These guys, they have their names everywhere, so if they try to vanish, they're going to get their reputation tarnished across all of social media. And you can see they're also very transparent with their tokenomics, showing where the money is going, where they're allocating funds and coins, and where they're going to be going into the future, when things are going to be released. So if you want to get a better idea of what's going on with Elrond, definitely take a look at the schedule and initial supply. So I want to go over this instead of the white paper, because this is a more updated and recent version of where the mindset of Elrond is going. You can see the Wealth of Crypto Networks, the first economic model proposal for the Elrond network, which is huge. I haven't really seen this out of anyone else yet, but you can see they're talking about, why is capitalism under stress? Can it fall short? Through Elrond, we propose a bold vision for a post-capitalist world, providing a new economic model and language specifically designed for the information age. So this paper basically outlines how the native currency of Elrond will be created and algorithmically minted to maintain the incentives aligned with the long-term health and security of the network. The paper offers a temporary snapshot of the economic principles governing the Elrond network as they stand at the time of writing. EGLD will have expected bootstrapping duration of roughly 3 to 5 years. The Elrond token is inseparable from the Elrond network, thus intrinsic to it. Some of EGLD's intended use cases include staking, delegation, payments, fees for storage rent, and smart contracts for deployment, as well as rewarding the validators that contribute to the network's performance, stability, and security. Once Elrond becomes a thriving global ecosystem and public utility, one might expect the token to become a robust store of value, owing to compounding programmable incentives and strong underlying network effects governing the blockchain architectures. Its quality as a store of value will be a function of the underlying economic incentives amplified via real-world adoption, defined conditional transition to a deflationary economic model, and accrued trust in the Elrond network. That's essentially what we meant by being a finite token, is that it is deflationary, so through the ups and downs of the rest of the market, it will maintain its value. You can see all of the exchanges and partners and everyone that is working with Elrond. This is a massive list. You see pretty much every big name on here, and this list is only going to get bigger. I like that they work with Band, Umbrella, Chainlink, Masari, Binance. There's huge names all across this. Orion, massive, and Polygon as a research partner. That's great. And you have your Binances right up top. So all in all, this is a very bullish project. And let's get right to the part that everyone is here for, the fun part, which is the TA. So I can see right off the bat we are sitting in a sideways channel. Let's mark that out real quick. Say from here to here would be your channel. You can even bring it a little bit lower. So this is an issue that I see with some people. They like to start their channel at the top of the candle instead of the wick. If you would have done that on the daily, you probably would have gotten a false confirmation with almost a week's worth of candles sitting on top, thinking this is going to blow up, when in reality the channel should have been started at the top of this wick and would have left everything at just the top half or top third or fourth tangent of this channel. So that's a really important thing to remember. Make sure you get the whole area so you don't get as many fake outs. So I was saying, even with this, you could technically bring it down to here. Now looking into the middle, you can see a major SR flip area that's coming into play. Where'd you go, line? Boom. So it comes up, doesn't hold support, hits a resistance once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times hitting resistance, finally breaks, tries to hold support, comes back down, and now it's trying to hold support to get another push to hopefully break on top. My breakout candles for this would be right here. We're going to call this Boomtown support. This is ideally where we want the price to come up to and find support before we get our next impulse move. So even looking within here, I can see one of the areas that would have triggered price to break down. You have a trend line coming up. That trend line is essentially broken. This would be your ascending triangle, so the top half of the triangle would be here, bottom half would be here, hits that resistance, breaks trend, and comes back down to refine support, thankfully at the 100 EMA, which is always big. Now that we're getting the 200 EMA at the bottom of the consolidation, that's also a good sign. Looking at these charts down here, you're also getting a support hold on the 50 RSI, which is very bullish. This has a little bit of room to come down, but all in all, this is still looking good. We might see a little stall around this midpoint, but what I'm hoping for, we'll look at the shorter time frames, but what we're looking for right now is a large impulse move that can take us over and bring us on top of the support so we can push into an impulse. You see my other videos, you know one of my favorite tools is a Fibonacci retracement, especially in a bullish market. We're going to start our line on top of the SR flip, and our 0 is going to be the top of this wick right here. So you can see price came all the way down to the 78.60, which is normal for a massive impulse move. Found its support, was trying to hold on the 61.80, the golden ratio number, broke back down, tested support down here again. Now finally got its support on the 61.80, broke up to test the all-time high, had its first resistance and a hold at the 61.80, which is normal. Technically looks like a cup and handle, just a very, very long handle. As we break out of this trend, we have another trend line from here to here. Once that trend was broken, you can see we're making that move back up. But based on where we are, we can see price push potentially all the way up to the $400 region. So that's more than 2 times where we're currently sitting at the moment. That's on a short term. That's a 2 times move, and that has plenty of space for Elrond to do. Now the real question is, do we still have a 5 times room? Because what I was looking for beginning around December, I was looking at Elrond getting to $1,000. Now that we're getting closer, let's see how realistic that looks. We're currently sitting at 3.3. If we wanted a 5 times move, which will take us around $1,000, that'll be a $15 billion market cap. And if we were at 15 billion, we wouldn't even be breaking the top 10 yet. So it's definitely a plausible idea to see this go up to 15 billion and test the top 20 coins at least. If it wanted to get into the 20, 30, 40 billion dollar range, then we can see that price get up even higher than 1,000. So you're at a more than a 5 times at the moment. On a daily, you can see this has been sitting for more than a month. It's getting ready to explode again, and that's going to basically wrap up this Elrond video that we're super bullish on. You can see currently we're sitting 7% up on the day. Coming over to the 3-day, you can see we held the 50 RSI support. We're getting a turn where the blue line is coming over the red. We barely touched the oversold area, making our move back up. This held its line perfectly as well. Going into the weekly, basically what I'm getting at is that all these long-term charts are going to show you that Elrond has tons of room, so I don't think this could even be the ceiling. You got to remember, once you break that all-time high, the sky is the limit, so we don't exactly know how far it's going to go, but it's definitely going to go pretty far. You see here, we're in the oversold area, about to turn blue over red, which is very bullish. We never actually crossed our volume oscillator into our bearish region, which is a great sign. Now looking into short-term moves and seeing if we can get an impulse that breaks us over the channel. We're a little oversold right now, but we're getting the spring effect, and that's when all the EMAs are stacked on the 4-hour. It gives it a nice opportunity once it gets some space to make a huge move. Looking down to the 1-hour. So the 1-hour starting to flip on the 40 RSI, STO RSI, which is great. We might get a break on the 70 RSI for the D7R. If we get this break, we could potentially get a nice little impulse move on the hourly without really making any crazy effects on the 4-hour or daily or weekly charts or anything like that. So we're going to keep an eye out on Elrond, and that about wraps up this video. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. If you didn't get a chance to before, please throw a like or subscribe to the channel. That would be greatly appreciated, and we'll catch you on the next episode.